Alright, what's up guys? So I'm here in the 818 at Harbor Freight, and I just bought this ammo can. I'm pretty sure everybody's seen this, and finally bought one. It was 15 bucks, and this thing is pretty heavy duty. It's pretty heavy gauge and everything. I'm gonna take off all the stickers and everything, and this is gonna be the new junkyard box. And what's cool is that there's this gasket that goes all around, and it's pretty heavy duty gasket. Like, if you can see how thick that is. Yeah, so I've been wanting one of these for a while now, so I finally got one, pulled the trigger. And I also got these right here. So I got these tapered buffing wheel, and this was $3. Can't beat it. And then I got this 4-inch buffing wheel, and that's Chicago Electric's Power Tools. And that's basically they provide most of the stuff. Chicago Electric, they have like the buffers and everything. I don't know the reliability of those, but these pads, I've bought these in the past and they do pretty good. So I'm going to use these to take out some scratches using a product called cerium oxide, and let's see how that works on the Integra glass. And I also bought this right here for an extension cord. But yeah, that's done. What's up guys? So this is going to be a quick little unboxing of some stuff that I bought. This is just the wrappers from yesterday's purchase at Harbor Freight. This right here is just going to jump right into it. This is the spring for the tensioner, timing belt tensioner, and that's the part number. And it's an OEM spring, so got that. Going to be doing the timing belt soon. Second one is timing belt tensioner, pulley, whatever. Tensioner. And yeah, so looks pretty good. So that and that go together. I have the timing belt, just gonna get the water pump pretty soon. And then I used to always borrow this, but now I bought my own, and that's a filler gauge. This is a standard and metric, and now I can finally do a good valve lash adjustment, because my engine sounds like a sewing machine. And yeah, that's basically probably just wear, but you could kind of quiet it down with those the valve adjustments. And this is just that felt wheel that I bought. This is way too soft for glass, but I'm pretty sure this will be good for the aluminum if I ever decide to polish the blades again. Next one is what I'm going to be using in a little while for the video. The main video. This is cerium. Is that gonna focus? Cerium oxide right there. And this stuff is like a powder. Let me see, can I open it with one hand? Yeah. I'm dropping it everywhere, but yeah, so that's how it looks like. It's basically a powder, and it's like a very fine abrasive. You mix it with warm water, and it actually cuts out swirl marks and minor scratches to actual glass. And yeah, so we're going to be using that. Next one is, again, another part for the timing belt replacement, and this is just because I'm lazy. And this is a timing, what is that? Timing gear lock or something like that. The pulleys, this basically goes right between them. Now I have cerium oxide everywhere. It looks like some type of like drug and stuff. But yeah, so that goes right in between the cam gears, and it locks them. So you make sure that your arrows are pointing inward and your cam gears are pointed up, and it's at TDC. And when you reinstall the timing belt and everything, this is going to be locked in there, and all you got to make sure is that your bottom crank pulley is right on TDC where it should be, and there's no hassle with this tool. And it comes in a nice little package. I got this for like 20 bucks, but expensive, but it's going to help me out, and I could always do it on a VTEC engine, so a timing belt replacement. And that looks like PQY Performance Parts. Never heard of it. eBay special, but yeah. Alright guys, so that's all I got in the box. I'm gonna pull out a spare window glass that I have, and I'm going to scratch it, sand it, and try and polish the sanding marks out with cerium oxide. And yeah, I already know that this stuff takes out swirls and it polishes it really, really, really well, but I'm gonna try and take out a legitimate scratch, because people have actually scratched my glass before on the outside and it's pretty bad. And yeah, just basic, you know, vandalizing and stuff, but let's just try this. Alright, so first off, the inside of my car is an absolute mess, but this is the glass that I got with the car. It's just a generic, it's not Honda glass. And the reason why I swapped out this glass for that glass, because that glass has window tint. It's 25%, and then I had the backs tinted to 5%, so kind of a cheap ass. I reused the glass, so I'm gonna use this. And under here, all the way down, it's where it attaches, and you cannot see this because that's where that felt line goes all the way across. And I'm just gonna scratch around here instead of scratching up here, because this glass is pretty nice, just filthy as hell. But I'm gonna scratch right here, sand down the scratch at like probably 1,000 grit and then 2,000 grit, and then I'm gonna use a cerium oxide on that, and let's see how that works. Hopefully I can get the scratch out, and if I end up getting a scratch out of this, I'm gonna get a scratch out of that one. And let's go see that scratch. So I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see that, but maybe if I go behind. Let's try this way. Nope. Well, I'll try with my phone. Let's see. Alright guys, so I swapped my phone real quick because the camera wasn't picking it up, but I have that nice fresh scratch right there. And yeah, you can feel it with the fingernail. And if I can get success out of that right there, I am legit going to sand out this scratch right here and polish it out using that cerium oxide. It seems very bold, but I'm not gonna mess with this until. But yeah, so I have used a little bit of the cerium oxide on a pad, and I just rubbed it on the top right here. The dot matrix looks nasty with the tint, but and it does take out swirl marks. So if you buy cerium oxide, you put it on a pad, and then you go in one direction, you can get out swirl marks out of your glass. So that's pretty dope. But if you have like a little scratch like that, let me see, would that focus? Well, there's a little scratch right there, but if you have like little scratches, it would not take it out unless you have like a machine polish, like actually like digging in and stuff. Oh yeah, you can see right there. So somebody else did that scratch right there, and I have plenty of them right there, the nice big one, and these scratches were not there. But yeah, so enough complaining. You must go with a machine in order to get this out. You cannot do this by hand, but swirls you can take out with the cerium oxide. Alright guys, so I basically found a rock. Pretty sure it's going to be a little bit harder than glass, or at least there's going to be material. And I'm going to try and just score it. Yep. Look at that. Nice scratch glass. I'll probably have to change to my camera, my phone. See that? And I can feel it. That thing's deep as hell. So now, probably a little bit too deep. Holy shit. So I'm gonna sand this out, and let's try with the cerium oxide. Alright guys, so I switched to my phone since it actually gets the scratch better, so you can see right there. And I have some old sandpaper here, 1,000 grit, and I have a 2,000 grit, just gonna sand this scratch out until I can't feel it no more, and try and polish out the 2000 grit sand scratches. The only thing that I could see bad happening is that I'm gonna get a little warp in here, because you know how like glass is like perfectly flat, and you could sometimes see how it goes like this and there's like a little dip in it. That's from like a previous repair, so that is not really avoidable. But if the scratch is gone dead on, you can't see it unless you look and you're trying to nitpick and stuff. So I'm gonna go with this and try and sand out glass. Let's see how this goes. Seems like it's coming out though. Alright guys, so bad news. That scratch that I did right there, it is just too deep. I can't take it out. Can't sand it out. So I'm gonna scratch it again right here, and it's gonna be a much finer scratch this time. So I got the perfect scratch. Let me see, where is it? I even lost it. Yeah, okay, well it starts right there. I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up, but it's there. It's there. Yeah, right there. You'll be able to see it. So what I'm gonna do, those are about the same size scratches I have on my car, and it barely picks up the nail. So I'm gonna send out that scratch, and let's see if I can polish that out. The sand scratches. Alright guys, so better yet, I'm gonna use 800 grit sandpaper, and I think this is gonna actually cut a lot deeper and faster. 1000 grit is not digging in, so I need some cutting power, so I think 8 will do good. Yeah, I definitely feel more cutting power. Alright guys, so there's a scratch right there. I got it where I can't feel it at all. Some pits and stuff, but it's pretty dull. So I'm gonna actually polish it with the cerium, and let's see if I can get this this haziness out, and try and get the remaining of that scratch out using the cerium oxide. But yeah, it's pretty visible right there, the scratch. Right across here. Let's see it after. Alright, so this is how I'm gonna mix the cerium oxide. Probably just put a little bit in here, or actually I'll scoop that out right there. Okay, that's good. Now, get one of these. Put half of that, half a cap. Get my key. And this is already warm water. It's been in the car. They say just make like kind of like a slushy, but I always end up putting too much water because I already used this stuff to take out swirls, and it does take out swirls, so I know that it does polish glass, and it takes out like any type of like contamination that's on the glass. But this should be good. Can't really ever get like a paste out of this unless you use very little water. But so now let's go to polishing the glass now. Alright, so I have this bubble wrap just so I won't make a huge mess on the ground. Try to pick it up, but you can see how it's hazy right here. I don't know how well I mean, it's kind of hard to record glass though, but see right there, and the scratch going right across. This scratch, too deep. This scratch is a pretty good example. So all this haziness does not come off. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go over this with 800 grit. I mean, 2000 grit right now. 1000 and 2000. Let's see. And then after I'm gonna polish it, because that's actually 800 grit. My bad. All right, guys. So applying the cerium. Alright guys, so look at my mess. Overall, the scratch is still there and it did not work. So yeah guys, so you win some and you lose some, and the scratch is still there, as you can see. And I know probably the sandpaper that I'm using is meant for wet and dry auto body, and it's not going to be able to cut in glass because glass is much harder than clear coat. But yeah, it was a good experiment. I'm gonna actually buy some special sandpaper and another actual pad, not from Harbor Freight, but probably one meant for actual glass. And then I'm gonna make a remake of this video, but a lot better position and everything, like camera angle and stuff. Like everything's just all bootleg. But yeah, so that's the video. Kind of a fail, but yeah. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you on the next one.